Hello and welcome to the to video number 6 in the one-page marketing plan video series. And this is about, we're just going to sort of talk about the difference between strategy and tactics in marketing. When people start talking about or thinking about marketing strategy, it's very easy to get your knickers in a twist about it and think that it's something terribly complicated and highfalutin. And the truth is, it isn't. It is actually a very simple thing. All it really means is that you're choosing your primary method for reaching your target customers. And so examples of a marketing strategy approach could be deciding not to advertise at all, but instead to build a referral network of people who can refer customers to you. Or it could mean something like deciding to focus on selling direct to customers online rather than selling through shops. Or it could mean something like choosing to focus on one particular market sector. The point of it really is to just remember that it's about what you want to, if you've gone through the previous thinking of defining your offering, being clear on the benefits, working out your target audience, knowing what your message is, then you sort of think, right, okay, you pull all of those things together and you decide, right, okay, what is the best approach for me to reach those people and sell to them. So let me give you an example. Quite a long time ago, I worked with a small carpet company who made Axminster carpets, and during their heyday, they were a market leader, but the business was kind of on the decline. This type of carpet that they made was a lot less popular than it used to be, and so they needed to find another approach. Now, at that time, several of their competitors had all been bought up by much bigger carpet manufacturers, and suddenly this little carpet company based in Kendal found themselves to be the only small independent carpet company of its type left, and they were suddenly competing not with other companies of a similar size, but ones that were sort of 5, 10, 15 size bigger than they were. So they needed to work out exactly how they were going to survive and how they were going to market. They didn't have a huge budget to do consumer marketing, so they weren't able to afford, advertising and promotional campaigns in, sort of the big lifestyle magazines like Elle Decoration and so forth. So we developed a strategy whereby the marketing strategy was all based around focusing on building stronger relationships with the retail partners. And so all of the money that we had, all of the marketing budget went into that, about building stronger relationships, about finding ways to better support the retailers so that the retailers could then sell to the end customers. Now, it's not rocket science, it's not very sophisticated, but it worked really well because we kind of pulled together everything that was happening, the market situation, the target customer, the amount of budget and resource that we had, and decided that was our strategy, and by and large it worked. So that's all I really mean about developing a marketing strategy. It's just thinking about what your overall approach is going to be, and then focus on it and get the job done. So once you've done all of the other bits and pieces that we've looked at in this one-page marketing plan, the next thing to do is to decide what marketing tactics you're going to use to deliver the message. These are just a vehicle for delivering the message. And marketing people often talk about things like, the marketing mix and the promotional mix. And what this means is that what I'm saying is don't put all of your eggs in the one basket or in the one cake mix, as you can see from the picture. It really means is finding ways to spread your message out. Now, if you think about this logically, if you look at a big brand like, let's say, a big consumer brand like Guinness, you might see a TV ad on the telly while you're watching. You might then be out and about and see a 48-sheet billboard somewhere with the same message for the same campaign on it. You might open a print newspaper or magazine and see an ad as part of the same campaign in that ad. You might see some people at Waterloo Station handing out sort of Guinness can samples on your way to work. The point is what happens is that there will be a campaign that takes place, and that campaign will be delivered through lots of different vehicles, including social media, exhibitions, print advertising, TV advertising, social media advertising, all sorts of things. And the point of it is that if you spread your message across lots of different methods, you're much more likely to get the subliminal recall in the mind of your potential customer. Now, the theory is, if you've done all of your basic thinking, all the things that I've talked you through these little video clips, it helps you decide which marketing tactics are the best things for you. So, for example, if you're focusing on getting a worldwide audience for an online project that you're doing, and you want to find people in Australia and New Zealand and America and everywhere else that they speak English, then there's very little value in you spending any time or money on advertising in your local paper, because it's not right for your target market. And that's sort of really why the thinking behind this is a great thing to do. If you're focusing on, let's say your business is 100% business to business, and you're not interested in connecting with direct consumers at all, then there would be very little point in spending an awful lot of time and money just on Facebook. So maybe in social media terms, the best thing for you to do would be to sort of focus your efforts on LinkedIn. And it's just really it's common sense, really. But you don't know any of these things. You don't know which ones to choose unless you've done the other thinking. And what happens with small businesses, we very often just kind of dive in, quick, we need a Facebook page, or quick, we need to be at exhibition, without actually doing the background thinking first to decide whether or not it's going to be a good idea. There are tens of thousands of different kind of marketing techniques that you can use, and any combinations of. But here's just a few things of common things that you might want to sort of look at or think about to see whether or not they're right for you. So let's just whiz through. We've got websites. I think it's fair to say that most companies should be having a website nowadays. You might decide to have a blog. You might decide to do guest blogging, which means trying to sell your blog articles to other bloggers. Social media, we've talked about in other videos. Email marketing, print advertising, media relations essentially means trying to get press coverage for yourself. Sponsorship, you might decide it might be appropriate for you to sponsor something in the local community, or sponsor something that you know that your target customers are interested in. I used to work in a world where people were obsessed with golf, and sponsoring golf events was a huge marketing tactic that was very successful for people. Ambient marketing is a strange technique, and it's really all about putting your logo somewhere unexpected. So the classic example of this is, let's say you're trying to reach company accountants to make a decision. Maybe company accountants are the target customer. So what you could do in ambient marketing terms is maybe get some taxi receipts printed up with your logo on and a message on the back, and then you could get some students to go to taxi ranks and hand out free pads of taxi receipts to cabbies to use, and so business people who are asking for a receipt after a cab journey would have those receipts, and then it would all be on their expense report that would go in to the accounts department, and then you kind of get this kind of strange roundabout way of getting a message through to those people. There we go. It's normally used by great big companies rather than small businesses, but nevertheless it's an interesting technique, and it does yield some interesting results. You might decide that you want a brochure. You might want to do some trade shows or speaking at events, run your own seminars, some traditional direct mail where you're sending stuff out in the post, some networking events, reward schemes, to reward existing customers and past customers, pay-per-clicks on Google and social media ads, leaflets and flyers, and last but not least, business cards. This is not the only list there is. I could double, treble, quadruple that in just a few minutes. The point is you need to sit down and think now about all of the things that we've looked at through these little videos, and decide which are the best things for you. and try and get it coordinated. So you don't want one message going out on social media and a different message on your business card or in a brochure. Just try and make sure that you've looked at the whole picture and the same message is being pushed out across every marketing tactic that you choose. So the next little video in this series, and the last one, is going to be looking at budget and resources. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.